Oh, shit. I forgot to bring up the shit button.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Kyle and KZ.
More people get their voice out there, then I think they'll realize like we're all the same, really.
KZ decided, let's do it. Took the bait, so here we
Veteran Chat Project.
Where it's encouraged to not be okay all the time. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle
And KZ.
and we are the Veteran Chat Project, and we are coming at you with another special live edition. As how we're doing things now. This one would be under the entrepreneurship series, I guess, if you want to call it series or chapters or seasons. We reached out to the Disgruntled Vets Entrepreneur page, as we did with a previous guest. We found William Putnam over there at the El Tejas Fabrication. That's right.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
And yeah, so Benjamin Lamken here reached out, said he wants to get on and talk about his story and a little bit about Foundations baseball development, about where he's been and what he's seen in the world and what led him to being in baseball development. So first and foremost, I appreciate you coming on and saying hi.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries.
Thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Your dog wants to be on too, huh?
Yeah, he does. He apparently does.
He's like, come on, man, just let me say hi.
I know more about baseball than this guy.
Oh yeah. Ben, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing okay, guys. I mean, you guys are out there East Coast. I'm in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle, and man, summer actually started out here. So yeah,
Yes.
so life's going all right, you know. Just doing the damn thing, man.
That's awesome, dude. I think
Yeah.
when you scheduled your your interview or not interview, when you scheduled yourself in our calendar app, like the little bio part or invitee questions, like what stuck out to me the most is like your love for baseball, obviously.
Dude.
Yeah, that's something
Yeah.
me and Kyle both share. I mean, and I'm not gonna like probably more Kyle than me, but like, yeah, that's something me and Kyle both share. So like, dude, we're stoked to have you on and talk military and talk baseball. Those are two of my top 5 favorite things, other than family and kids.
Dude, I'm into it, man. Like I always joke with people that they're like, well, how long have you loved the game? I'm like, well, you know how a lot of moms put like Mozart or Beethoven on their stomachs when they're pregnant with their babies. My parents put Mariners games on there, you know. Like, so I don't know if it's true, man, but like hey mom, if you're watching, you can totally claim that. If you're, like,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's been a love for me since I was really, really little, man. Really little. Yeah, just and we grew up broke, man. So I remember my first game. I was born in '82. I think it was probably 1991.
Yeah.
And in the old Kingdom in Seattle. It's not even there anymore. So yeah.
Who was on the team in '91? I'm trying to think. Like
Edgar Martinez.
Ooh, dude.
Griffey was
Jay
2
Buhner.
years in. Jay Buhner was there. Let's see. Tino Martinez hadn't gotten into Seattle yet. Omar Vizquel was on the team, and Harold Reynolds, Alvin Davis. They were both still playing at the time.
Like that early '90s Mariners were stacked for sure.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Even though we didn't have a winning season until like 1992. Stop! It's just a siren. Goodness, this dog's gonna be the death of me, I swear. So, but yeah, man. Ever since I was really little, you know, baseball has always been a major passion of mine. My dad kind of taught me how to play the game, and my mom taught me like the rules of the game, like what's a full count, what does 3 up, 3 down mean, what does painting the corners mean, that kind of stuff,
dude.
kind of the lingo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's
just
dope.
listening to listening to Mariners games, laying down in the back seat of my mom's Chevette on the way home from church on Wednesday night. Yep, that was my childhood, dude.
That's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
I grew up a
That kind of
Cardinals fan.
A what fan?
St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cardinals. I grew up
Yep.
North St. Louis County, so it was all about the Cardinals. My grandpa took us to Old Busch Stadium.
Yep.
My dad was at the game when McGuire hit 62.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was a fun time. Like, it's a fun era to grow up a Cardinals fan.
Oh man, the '90s were a great time to grow up a baseball fan, man.
Oh,
it really
for sure.
was, dude. The juiced era was a lot of fun, man.
It was a lot of fun.
Nothing will ever replace '90s baseball.
No, man.
Nah.
Nah, dude.
I saw a video the other day.
It was
and
like hockey on that thing.
Oh yeah. I saw a video on TikTok or one of the others the other day, and it was I think it was during one of the home run derbies, dude, and McGuire was still on Oakland, and he had just started saucing. So he's like cranking home runs, and like little tiny Barry Bonds is like standing there, and McGuire just runs up and like picks him up over his shoulder.
Oh, I just saw that.
And he's like, man, y'all too big for me. And the next thing you know, he's all
he's just jacked.
I will say this, like there was like, even juice or no juice, there still would have been no better hitter in the game of baseball probably than Barry Bonds. Just the way he, like, his mentality towards hitting, I think, is just one of the I think he would have been good regardless. It obviously wouldn't have had as many home runs and monster shots, but he definitely would have had good contact, good average still.
Well, they say that if Griffey hadn't got hurt, he would have hit like 800 something home runs lifetime.
Wouldn't that have been insane, dude?
That would have been nuts, man. Like, obviously I'm a total homer. Like, the kid is one, like, in my opinion, the greatest of all time, period. But just the sweetest swing, passion for the game, the way he played, like, as you know, and didn't have to do so, right? Because
never did
with a swing like that. You know, did you see him at the World Baseball Classic taking BP?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Everybody on the team was just standing there watching.
Just jaws on the floor, like, man, like, how do we do that?
that was real too, to see that, you know,
he still got
baseball.
it.
Yeah, that, and then just to see like today's professional baseball players still doing it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
three deep behind that batting cage. Everybody's like trying to like look over somebody else's shoulder, man.
Oh
yeah.
That makes, I mean, that's cool that you have the, you know, the love for, you know, America's game.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that you served also. If you don't mind, let's back up.
Hey guys, can I pause this for a second?
Yeah, man.
Give me 1 second. Move. What's up, man? Sorry.
So yeah, his dogs are real excited to be on the show, which is cool, you know. I was like looking for the mute button. I'm like, man. But no, anyways, no, I'm just talking about
what do you
Ken
like
Griffey Jr.'s swing. Like, I just pulled this up, so
I don't know why that makes such a correlation to me. Like, America's game and just being a veteran just goes hand in hand to me.
Yeah, but I mean, you could also say like football. You know, football, they try to make it like America's game too.
Oh, that's true.
But like, I don't know. I definitely do think baseball will always be America's pastime, right? Like, it's not going to go nowhere.
My opinion, no doubt.
While we're on it, and before we go to the question, like, dude, what do you think of like some of the rule changes that they brought about this year?
Not a fan.
Yeah,
not a fan.
I'm not either, because like I actually enjoyed the ballpark experience. Like, I don't care. Like, if I'm not worried about watching a game. If I'm watching a Tuesday night game that's like game 67, you know, like, I don't care. I might not make it through that anyway. Just because I got a kid, I got, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
catch a couple innings. But if it's the playoffs, like I don't like I want to sit on every single pitch, dude. I want to feel that tension build up because I mean, dude, I lived through the 2011 World
right.
Series
The
against
Mariners and the Astros
against
literally played
the Rangers.
2 games in one last year.
Yeah.
2 games in one, and the game ended 1-0.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, like I said,
like,
that's the drama of baseball that like
yeah,
I feel like they
exactly.
sucked away.
You
It
don't
is.
know what's going to happen. And like, and I see all these posts about, oh, this game only lasted 1 hour and 46 minutes or what. It's like,
Oh yeah,
do you even
That
enjoy
sucks.
this sport? Like,
yeah.
So beer sales are way down probably because they can't.
yep,
They got to stop serving them in the fifth now, probably.
right. Well, Bud Light sales are down anyway, but you know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. That's true. But,
So, but yeah, man. No, if like I'm not a super big fan of the rule changes, like the ghost runner, the pitch clock. That like one of the best things about baseball is that there is no clock. You know,
yeah,
there's no
think-
clock.
I think they could have put a clock on it, but like I think it's too rushed.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
it's way too much of a thing. Like it should have just been like you got a minute, dude, max.
Yeah,
Because sometimes people take too long, and sometimes people just get up there and fucking deal, dude. And that's just like that goes into a pitcher's mentality, and it's like, are you
Yep.
an attacker? Are you a fucking are you painting like you said,
Yeah.
painting the corners? Are you
are you going after guys?
Are you
Yeah.
just absolutely
yeah.
just throwing smoke at people? And
That's the first
know-
thing I thought about. That's gotta fuck up a pitcher's mentality. Put that clock up there,
Yeah.
dude. I'd hate to be a professional pitcher now in the game.
like especially
I
like the
will
second
say-
time through the rotation or through the batters in order in a game, like like they already kind of got your sequence, or they think they know, and then you're rushed, your shit like, oh fuck, let me just throw this one real quick.
One thing I will say about it though, like having been to a couple games this season at T-Mobile Park, it's kind of fun when the clock gets to 10 and the whole crowd's going 10,
Oh
9,
shit.
8, 7.
Like a free
It's
throw.
like, that's kind of, that's kind of like, and Seattle's notorious for having like really friendly fans,
Mhm.
So it's like, I don't want to be a friendly ballpark. No, this is the enemy. Like, I want them to be in a hostile work environment.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, I don't want them to, like, I don't want opposing fans. Dude, we're playing the Yankees, and Yankees fans travel well. It's like half the freaking stadium is Yankees fans, and
Well, it's because
just
they're
like,
everywhere.
yeah,
People are just like,
it's-
And they pop up out of
I
nowhere.
I like baseball, and they're like, Yankees. hat.
Yankees. Yeah, exactly.
right.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. That's why.
Let me Google their record real quick. 27 World Series. Oh,
Yeah, but when? How
Yeah.
many in the last? I don't know. Let's just say 20
12
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Cardinals, baby. We
Right.
got more in the last 20 years than the Yankees.
I can't
dude.
say much. I can't say much
Hey,
as a
they're
Mariners fan
going,
because
dude.
we've never even appeared.
I'm on the
So-
bandwagon, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm on the bandwagon.
Nice.
On the Mariners
Nice.
bandwagon. Our boy Rooster, one of our first guests, he's actually stationed up in Fort Lewis. So,
Oh,
him
right
and
on.
he was a born Tigers fan up in Michigan. So him and his whole family, they're all up in Seattle now, or up in Fort Lewis area. So they're at the ballpark all the time.
Oh, dude, all the
Sweet.
time.
Like every
Sweet.
other day, him and his kid and his wife ballpark.
I like their bucket list, going to every single ballpark.
I'm doing that too.
Dude, that's like for their kid. I mean, I think that's a hell of a bucket list, dude. That sounds like a
Dude, 30 ballparks. Yeah.
dude.
There's actually a
30.
Facebook group that's like tells you how to do it, like cheapest ways to do it, how many you can
Oh,
hit in like
shit.
like if you go to one city and stay, you can get like 3 or 4 in like a week or whatever.
Wow.
Go to this one,
yeah.
come back to your hotel, go to that one. It's like
Oh, dude.
people playing that shit out, bro. There's books.
That's
You
pretty
can really it's a whole thing. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
I
man.
think baseball. See what I mean? We could talk baseball all day
fuck.
long.
Yeah.
We really could.
Yeah. So like, connect like when you were getting up to get your dogs, I was talking to Kyle. I was saying like, I don't know, me personally, just because, like in my opinion, I think it's a cool ass connection to love America's pastime and to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces. I don't know why. To me, those two things connect really well. But on that note, like, let's go back a little bit and I know you're a Marine. Like, let's talk about that real quick
Yeah.
before we get on the Foundation's baseball development. Like, so
Yeah.
when did you join?
So I joined right after my 18th birthday in 2000. So it was interesting because it was a week before, and my selective service card came in the mail,
Oh shit!
right? And I had never heard of the selective service. I was like, "What's this?" And my mom was like, "Oh, that's basically like you're signing. You gotta sign up for the draft." And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
"Okay." And I had always like played around with the idea of joining the military, especially the Marine Corps. Like if I was gonna be in the military, I was gonna do the toughest service I could do.
Oh, for sure.
Plus, have you seen the dress blues? Come on, like
Drip.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I
So,
have.
but
It's like
at that point in my life, I had kind of like I was a 17-year-old kid. I was working. I was hanging out with my friends. Not really. I wasn't really a troublemaker. It wasn't like a go to war, go to jail type thing. Anything
Yeah.
like that. I just looked at my mom and I was just like, or I'm looking at this card, going, you know what? If my country really needed me, if it really came down to it, I would just go enlist. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, if you're that passionate about it, why don't you? So a week later, I turn 18. I start talking to a recruiter, like,
yeah.
and Staff Sergeant Knight. I think he got promoted to gunny when I was at boot camp. But I'll never forget it. Staff Sergeant Kevin Knight. I went down to a recruiting office. He wasn't in the office. It was a really small, just like 2-room little office suite in this nothing strip mall. The office isn't even there anymore. It's an insurance office now.
Shit.
But he's got his card hanging on the door in one of those little card caddies, So I call him up. I leave a voicemail, and 45 minutes later, he calls my home phone back, and he's like, "What do you want to do, man?" I'm like, I'm like, I want to be a Marine. Why? Because I want to earn it. He's like, let's get together.
Yep.
I'm like, all right. So we go down and I do the paperwork and yeah, I'm a Marine, but I got a 74 on the ASVAB, mofos. Okay, 74, pretty respectable score.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I did it on a computer, not with crayons. All right. So let's just dispel the rumors right now.
So no dessert after
Let me cross
after
that
the
out.
test. They didn't give you snacks.
No dessert, no Red Lobster, no Olive Garden, none of that. So that was down at Peps, and then so I do all this stuff and swear in to the depth pool in November 2000. Shipped out May 8th, 2001 to San Diego.
Hey, before you continue,
Yeah.
when you swore into the depth pool,
Yeah.
how long? What was that gap? How long was that gap before you went to basic?
So November 2000, I swore in.
Mm-hmm.
May 2001.
What was that
I
experience?
shipped.
What was that experience like from November to May? Did you feel like a sense of pride, like I'm about to go do the damn thing?
Yeah, it was, man, it was a lot of emotion. It was like a sense of pride, like I'm going to be a Marine.
Yeah.
It was, what the hell have I gotten myself into? Like, you know, uh, there was some second guessing. There was some, it's like, no, I'm doing this. Like it always came down, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
Badass.
You know, I've always kind of been the type of person that once I decide to do something, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't care what it takes. There's nothing gonna stop this from happening. You know, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do this. And then and I was I was enlisted to be a 2111 small arms repair technician, an armorer, right?
Oh shit.
And then I get down. My original ship date was May 7th, and then the liaison officer down at MEPS switched this other guy and me, so he became a 2111, and I became an 1812 M1A1 tank crewman. And I was like,
hey,
Let's
okay.
we were
Yeah.
tankers, bro. Hey,
Hell
it's
yeah,
crazy how-
dude.
it's crazy how this shit keeps
Wow.
happening, man. Like,
Oh,
we just
man.
keep winding up with tankers. Like, literally, I mean, we were in the
Dude.
army, but yeah, we were tankers. A little later on, probably in a later model, we're in the set V2s, but M1A2 set V2s, and
Right.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking badass, dude.
That's sick, dude. Oh man, I'm bro, you guys just got like a bunch more fans because like my buddies, I'm gonna put this out to the chat and be like,
we
yo,
want to talk to all of them.
check this out.
Yeah, that's
Check this
sick.
out. Yeah, nah, they got some stories to tell too, dude.
we
Like,
want to hear them all, dude. Tell them all. I'll send them the
Yeah.
link. We'll get them on
I
this
got-
thing for real. That's
hell yeah,
tankers, dude. We
Yeah.
love tankers on this show. That's
Hell
our
yeah.
favorite.
Crusty
Uh,
motherfucking tankers, man.
Tankers and baseball,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best job in
It's
the
like, you
world.
want to be best
Hey.
friends, dude? We're best friends now.
Hey, did we just become best
Yes.
friends? Yep. Let's go do karate in the garage after this
Yeah,
podcast, okay?
I will.
All right.
If my wife lets me.
So yeah, went to boot camp May 2001, Alpha Company, platoon 1074. Still remember my senior. I still remember all of my drill instructors, but made it through in the bare minimum time, 3 months, 13 weeks. Came home on 10 days leave. We didn't do a lot of traveling when I was a kid. We just did like little road trips and stuff like that. So cool thing about that 10 days leave was my parents and my family actually drove down from Seattle to San Diego to pick me up. And then we kind of did like the California coastal tour because that was my first experience in California ever, was going to boot camp. Like, like that was it. And that was pretty cool. Went to MCT, Marine Combat Training after that. And then, went through two and a half weeks of learning how to be a grunt. And then reported to Fort Knox, Kentucky, Labor Day weekend, 2001. Nice. So, and I was actually, so y'all know the tank community, the armor community is fairly small, right?
Yeah.
So the class that I was reporting to was already fully booked up, right? They didn't have a slot. So I was a Marine awaiting training at that point. And from Labor Day weekend to like the second week of October, I was a Marine awaiting training. And dude, I'll never forget this. You guys know what the Sullivan Cup is?
Oh, fuck yeah.
We had a Sullivan Cup winner on an earlier episode, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude.
So
Kyle Braun's episode, if you want to listen to that. That's a.
I'll check it out for sure. So back in the day, at that time, we had what was called Tiger Comp. And the 4 tank battalions in the Marine Corps would basically get together and see who the best tank crew in the Marine Corps was, right?
Yeah.
So me and all the other MAT Marines, as they call us, Marines awaiting training, we're hauling bleachers out to the range for all the media. The commandant of the Marine Corps was coming out. The sergeant major of the Marine Corps was coming out.
They're just sergeant major detail until you got sent off somewhere, basically. Like,
yeah,
we need 10. They're like, well, I got 10 right here.
Yeah. No, we were like 6, bro. We had like 6 or 7. A couple of guys had already been there a month, waiting. But we're in the back of a deuce and a half. We're in the back of a deuce and a half. And my platoon guide is looking out the little canvas window they got, and he's like, "Oh, dude, check this out, check this out," and all of a sudden, poof of feathers, and we're looking out the back like, oh, there's all these feathers flying all over this dirt range road, and then we see 3 turkeys on the road. 2 of them like scurry off, and there was one like flopping in the middle of the road. Like we had just run over this turkey. And so the specialist who's driving stops our little convoy, and my buddy Lipinski, hey, Jordan Lipinski, if you're out there, dude, hit me up. He's like, guys, the World Trade Center just got bombed. And I'm like,
oh, fuck.
What? And I'm like, dude, shut up, Ski.
Like,
They
no,
tried that like
was
10
turkey.
like, yeah. No, seriously, I was like, I literally looked and I'm like, dude, shut up, Ski. They tried that like 10 years ago. It didn't work. He's like,
Yeah.
no, dude, I'm serious. 2 planes full of explosives flew into the World Trade Center. I'm like, bullshit, dude.
That's
And he pulls up his phone because he was like the one guy I knew with internet on his phone, and he was on CNN.com, and he's like, yeah, the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, dude. And like, so this specialist comes behind the to where we are, and then our NCOIC comes around, and he shows our NCOIC. He's like, hey, Staff Sergeant, this just happened. And he looks at us and he's like, we're going back to the house right now. And so he gets in his spot. The specialist that was the driver was like, guys, was the turkey moving at all? It's like, yeah, he was like flopping on the road, bro, but did you? I was like, and I look back at it now, I'm just like, that is the most E4 Mafia crap I've ever heard of. Like, the nation is under attack, and this guy is like worried that the EPA is going to be on his ass. So
that is funny. I mean, it's
yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny that the World Trade shit, but yeah,
it
is just funny.
So
I mean, the military, that's the kind of sense of humor that you're around. It's just and it's something for me. It's irreplaceable.
Oh, 100%.
That kind of shit right there, where you, like I said, like no, that was a turkey. Like that would have been my instant reaction. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But that was
right. It's just
dude.
like so yeah. Picked up training for tank school. The tempo for that training and the focus on it, as you can imagine, took quite a jump up,
Oh, I bet.
And they were talking about all the reservists are getting activated as soon as you get to your unit. Like, we're all going to war right away, and all this like craziness, and it got to a much higher focus for sure.
Yeah.
And we so because I signed up as a reservist. I had just had a little brother after waiting 17 years for a little brother, and
now you want to give me one?
Yeah, 5 sisters in between he and I. So I'm like, I don't want to like just disappear for 4 years and
makes
like
sense.
not see him grow up.
Hey, during your training time, like let me ask you this, because between Kyle and myself, we joined our units right after tank training, OSIT training. And when we joined our units, we were automatically deployed within 30 days. And by the time we got there, they were already knee deep in the shit. And in my perspective, like looking on down, like years down the line, I always had, Bound, how do you know tanks so well? And my automatic response was always like, well, I had to learn fast, because I did tank training in Fort Knox, but my first unit was already deployed. By the time I got to my unit, I had to learn that shit fast, or else people would fucking die. Like,
Right.
was that the same kind of mentality you guys had because of 9/11?
Yes and no. It's funny. Coming into tank school, because you get divided up into crews, right?
Mhm.
The day I pick up, I'd already been there for a month and a half, crawling around on the tanks, trying to learn some AFVID
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. And it was this 18 and a half year Army staff sergeant that was our tank commander. And we get on the tank, and he's getting out in like a year and a half or earlier because he's about to have both of his knees replaced,
Fuck.
right? So,
Classic tanker.
Tanker life.
so he's with us for like maybe 2-3 weeks, and then basically on his MedSep road, right?
Yeah.
But the first day, he's like, "You guys probably already know more about this tank than I do."
Oh
Like-
shit, dude.
Like,
Great.
I'm like an 18-year-old kid, like, you know,
Hell of a
like,
climate to jump into.
They just hand you the book and like, now I know
what?
everything.
Oh yeah,
Take this thing home with me.
10-1, 10-2. That's your Bible, you know. Freaking. So that was kind of a shock, but like, so we're with him like when we're at the motor pool
Mhm.
for half the day, but in the classroom time, you know, our platoon sergeant and platoon commander, they were battle hardened vets
Yeah.
on tanks, you know, so they're like really trying to put it to us like, hey, this is real, you know, like we're going, you all are going to go somewhere, and you all are going to be in an austere environment where the gun range isn't just one way, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
so
not a
you
rate.
need to,
It's not a
yeah,
range band.
right,
Yeah, there's no
right.
stand.
The targets that pop up, they shoot back, you know. So they really tried to put that into our minds, but I mean that's tough to do, that especially for 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that, you know, like, because we don't know,
No,
like
we think we do.
you know what I mean, like we think we know everything, like,
Mhm.
okay, whatever, it's a tank, I'm gonna be safe, you know.
Yeah.
And
Nope. Not always.
but right, and it might be a friendly tank, but it doesn't care who it kills, you
Yeah.
know. So
That thing will kill you. That thing will eat you alive in there, bro. People don't understand.
yes,
Like
it
you could
will.
literally, you can have your shit cut in half just crawling from the
Yep.
fucking driver's hole to the turret. And I mean,
Yep.
obviously there's things in place to make sure that doesn't happen, but you got to be in communication with. That's why, like, if you know a veteran who's like super adamant about communication, even the small details, they were probably a tanker and they were told like this machine will
Right.
fucking eat you.
It will. Yeah.
I
You
was
do
a
not
chef
pass
for a
go.
while, man. I told this kid, he was like 16, 17, and I took this tank will eat you approach to teaching him how to use a slicer, bro. And I gave him like a 3 to 4 minute speech. I was like, look, this thing will literally, like, it's made to slice. It doesn't care what's put into it. It'll slice
Right.
your finger. It'll slice your ear. It'll slice your whole hand off if you slide it through there. Like, it'll slice, you know, like it'll slice
Yep.
your dick
It
off,
doesn't
bro.
care.
If
It
you try to
doesn't
fuck
care.
it. And he was just like, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm like, good. Like, don't put anything in there that's not food. And I was like, if you think it's too close to run it through there, fucking don't run it through there.
Yep.
But yeah,
Back it off, man.
Yeah, like, yo, this shit is made to kill. It doesn't
Yep.
matter who
Yep.
it is.
Exactly.
That's a
So
hell of an entry into the Marine Corps, dude. Not gonna lie.
right. Right. It was yeah. So yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of regret not seeing more of like the natural part of Kentucky, like, because I didn't realize they had like Mammoth Caves National Park over there and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, kind of was focused on something else, you know.
Yeah.
Like I did go to my first Marine Corps ball over there, and that was on a 96. My parents actually came over, and that was super fun. Got to see my little brother again. And then back to work, came home, in December, folks picked me up from the airport. And I had a travel day, so I didn't actually have to report to my unit until the next day. And that was over in Yakima from Seattle. So I'm like, man, I'm going home, going to sleep in my own bed. I don't got to be there till tomorrow. Like, nah, like I'm going to go home and sleep in my own bed. Heck yeah. So I go over and I check into Bravo Company, 4th Tank Battalion, 4th Marine Division, um, and found out a little bit of the history of that company. In the Persian Gulf, they racked up 119 confirmed tank kills with no casualties, and they had a
Oh shit.
captured T-72 sitting outside of the reserve center, as well as an M60, and yeah, pretty legendary company that I was joining, and some big shoes to fill.
I will say that, dude. The one thing I envy the most about the Marine Corps is their honor to tradition. Now there's the half cap right there,
Yeah,
bro.
Nice. I gotta get me one of those.
That's
I sent this one downrange myself. Well,
Nice.
it was during a training gunnery that we did in Iraq in 2012. That's where things went to. But it was a training round. But we got to bring a Connex full of them home to kind of give out as mementos to everyone that shot. So that's like the one thing throughout all my, I only did 4 years in the Army, but like all my Army stuff or any of my shit, it's like the only thing that I kept.
Right.
Like I will have that thing forever. There's still change in it from like 5 years ago.
Nice. If you had deployment pogs in there,
I was about to say,
some AVs pogs. I know I had.
Yeah.
I found a whole shopping bag full of them.
Dude, I still got pogs
in my duffel bag.
Yeah,
I had them stuffed in my duffel bag pockets too, like them big old fucking double-sized duffel bags that the Army went to. But yeah, shit, them AVs tokens, they're worth dog shit.
They're not worth a damn thing, man.
They give you like a 5-cent one. You're like, dude, just keep it. I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want this to go to waste.
What tree did you kill for this? Yeah, take this back, dude.
Yeah.
Give it to someone who needs it.
Right.
Like I give it to my family.
Yeah, like the you were talking about the tradition of Bravo Company. Like I think that's super cool. That's something I've always envied about the Marine Corps. I mean, initially I dipped in the Marine Corps, and then I got kicked out of high school. So I had to get my GED and join the Army that way. So
they weren't taking GEDs when I went either.
So like that, that process of dipping in the Marine Corps for a year, like that's the one thing I took the most pride in, is the fact that Marines took pride in their history. Yeah. So that's no surprise to me. Like, in a good way, there's no surprise to me that the Bravo Company you went to, there's just like that tradition, that honor. Dude, that's fucking dope, dude. That's cool as shit.
Well, I was explaining it to somebody else the other day, because I'm going through like the VA like claims process and everything like that, and I met up with a group of vets, and I think it came about like what makes Marines different or whatever, and I was like, being out for so long, because I got out of the Marine Corps in 2008, like it is what the sins to a Marine are. And the number one cardinal sin to a Marine would be to embarrass the Marine Corps. Do not embarrass the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah.
Don't, you know what I mean? So like we like that's like, you might as well just like exile yourself to like go live on a small little frozen island in the Arctic or something if you're going to do that. Cause
I believe that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's like that history and that tradition, and the stories, like, like I really liked the fact that we didn't have like a blue cord or a, or a, there, or the the armor insignia or the infantry insignia or the artillery insignia or whatever it was. Like what branch are you? I'm a Marine. You know, it's one insignia on the uniform, basically. You know, unless you obviously you go to a special school like jump school, scuba school, or you become MARSOC or whatever. But
it's universal with
Yeah.
Marines. Like what
Yeah.
branch do you? I'm a Marine. What was your job? I'm a Marine. Like, you know, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that feels dope. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something as an Army veteran, that's something I can say that like yeah, that's definitely a big difference between your
You know.
branch and ours, and I envy that for sure.
Absolutely.
Dude, it's hard earned. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
And I wasn't a recruiting post for Marine either, man. Like,
but it
I
builds that
definitely
brotherhood
wasn't.
though. It definitely
yeah.
builds that brotherhood because, like,
Yeah.
I know, like, my last deployment was to Camp Djibouti, or no, Camp Lemonade in Djibouti, Africa.
Lemonade.
Okay.
Yeah, Camp Lemonade, and you know, that was the first time I was around other armed forces, and you know, just walking around and like, dude, you guys train way too much, dude. Because I thought we trained way too much. Every fucking morning at 5 a.m. we'd walk out there, like the sun's not even out in Africa at 5 in the morning, and like the Marines are out there, like just like doing, you know, combatives or
Right.
running or just
Right.
doing rifle drills. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Let's go get breakfast. Y'all go eat. Like they need to go. Like they need to go eat. Like no, they already ate at 3 a.m. Like what the fuck?
Platoon sergeants are gonna be like, we got to burn these calories so we can earn the next calories. Like, you know,
Dang.
like, yeah, dude.
So did you you know, within your time in the Marine Corps, were you able to deploy and go overseas?
Yeah. So 2004, we had our gunnery, and we knew that we knew that we were deploying. It was just a matter of when.
Okay.
2004, we go to gunnery, and we shot like crap on gunnery. Like it was bad. Like it was bad. I don't even know that we had a Q1 in the company that year. That bad. And this is on the old table 8 too. This isn't on the table 6. So yeah. So that was in the spring, I believe. And then in the fall, or like August, we get a warning order, right?
Yeah.
Or and it's like, hey, you're going. Okay, cool. And then they get like our CO gets us together. He's like, okay, good news is, guys, we're deploying. Bad news is we're not going to be on tanks. I was like, dang it. Well, shoot better and you'd be able to be on tanks. But so then we started training as provisional military police, right? And that's when, as a reservist, you get real familiar with the technicality of, oh, no. It's a minimum of 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. A minimum of. That's not your only schedule, right? So being a reserve Marine became a lot of our full-time job. We're going to drill every other week and for 4 days at a time. We're doing like close quarters drills. We're doing like movement under direct fire. We're doing like infantry stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Then January we actually get activated. That's when we actually get the orders. Go over to Camp Lejeune, and the infantry stuff continues. You know, we're doing mounted drills. We're doing CQB stuff. We're doing all of that. We're doing convoy ops. Shut up! Hey, these guys are just driving me nuts.
Dogs, man.
But
my
we're doing like
probably snuggling my wife to bed, taking my spot right now.
Yeah, it's only 7:15 on my side of the country, so that's not happening.
My wife's got to wake up super early.
Yeah, but so we're doing all that kind of stuff, right? And then in March, we actually landed in country.
Mm.
First place I went to was Al Assad Air Base, right? And it was raining. It was raining in Iraq. I did not expect that. It was cold and gray and raining.
It
I'm like,
rains a fuckload, dude. I did not expect
yeah,
that either. Like that rain
no,
season just washed us out.
And it smells
right?
like
I was
complete shit.
I was just like,
It smelled horrible. We lived right on the Tigris.
yeah, it was. Al Assad was an interesting place because there's a lot of brass on Al Assad because it's an airbase, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
So got really nice chow halls and really nice this and that. And I actually got detached from my unit and went to another unit, and they were from El Paso, so it was an interesting deployment. We didn't lose anybody. Nobody got hurt. We got mortared. We, did patrols and stuff like that. Hobnobbed with the locals.
Drank some chai.
Yeah. Oh, the Turkish guys, man. The Turkish guys that set up on Camp Fallujah, bro. Oh my gosh. I thought I was a coffee drinker. Boy, they make some coffee, man. Holy
Yeah.
smokes. And then like going to the barber shops with the, getting like the like them beating your ears with yeah,
Smacking the
yeah,
shit out of your head with that
yep,
alcohol. You're just like,
yep.
I don't know why, but like I don't feel like my haircuts are complete until you smack the shit out of my head.
I was just about to say
You're just,
that.
you're just like
Haircuts now are
rubbing alcohol and just like
Nope. I want whatever it is. If it like that bulldog mixed with lemon juice, rub that around in your hands, and then just beat the ever living crap out of the back of my skull.
it's the ram.
Just-
It's the urine of a ram.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So yeah, deployment was like it was an intense experience. That like I don't want to downplay it. You guys have been deployed. You know what's up. But
it's just crazy how you're like, I mean, me and Kyle understand it, and I know our audience will understand it, but it's just crazy how you're like, yeah, we got mortared. Like, dude,
Yeah.
We both are just like, yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. By the way, like it rained hellfire at night, 2 to 3 times a week, in case you were wondering.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what that's
But
about.
it's weird how you just kind of accept that. Okay, there's one with my name on it.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that it's not in the same country that I'm in at the same time.
Right. We're just
That's
yeah.
it. You know, like
I remember.
Okay, and if it is, I hope it's not on the same province. Okay, and if it is, maybe they don't get to it. Right? So it's just kind of like it's really weird to accept that at a young age, and only not now after being out for so many years. Like you look back on that experience, and it's like none of it were really bad times, because I gained value from, like, there were so many lessons learned about what I'm capable of, what I'm capable of enduring, about what I'm built for, and just kind of mentally accepting things that are just like, okay, so this is happening now. How do I adjust to this?
Oh yeah.
Like, embracing the suck, really.
Yeah, that was a huge
Embracing
term
the suck.
that we used.
Yeah.
I think for sure everybody used that one. Yeah, like, well, this is gonna suck. I know Brandon, he would do the cigarette of acceptance.
Right.
Remember, he would start that shit. He'd be like, all right, here he comes. Like, I'm gonna light this cigarette up right now. And like, by the time it's over, I'll have accepted what the fuck is going on today. And he's just like, okay.
All right.
I guess that's what we're
Done.
fucking doing today.
There we are.
So yeah,
You know?
cigarette of acceptance. I took that into my civilian life as a
That was,
long rip of acceptance.
well, to parallel on that same thought process, like that's exactly what I was gonna ask. Like, did I mean, I know it did for me. I do that every day. Sometimes too much. My wife sometimes gets annoyed with it, but like, does that mentality still carry with you today? Like, hey, it is what it is. Just gonna accept it and move on. And I can't deal with that right now.
No, I mean, it's on a situational basis.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
where it's like, because, I mean, it's not that I'm not just. I mean, there's certain things where it's just like, okay, this is what it is.
Yeah.
But now it's like, you know, okay, can I change this? If I can, then how do I do that?
Yeah.
Do I need to change it? Yes or no? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that needs to change? Like, whatever the situation is, whether it's an argument with my lady, or, you know, or jobs that I've worked, or you know, whatever it is, like, something pops up. It's like, okay, does this need to change? Yes, it does. Okay, how am I going to change it? You know, and then taking actionable steps on to that end, you know. Something else. Does this need to change? No, it doesn't. Okay, I'm just going to leave it alone then. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like a Cuban election. It doesn't matter, you know? So, you know, and that's kind of sort of part of my thought process. But one thing like, there's rarely an instance where it's like, okay, this doesn't need to be changed. It's like, no, I'm always moving forward. I'm always trying to move forward. Therefore, I'm always changing.
Yeah.
You know, my physical fitness, my mentality, the way I conduct my business, the way, you know, the way I interact with people, everything. I mean, if you're not changing, you're not moving forward. If you're not
growing.
if you're not growing, you might as well just be in the grave, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, gonna try to make dying the last thing I do, but that's when I want to stop growing, you know?
Yeah.
If I'm not in growth, then
might as well be dead.
Yeah. Go read my epitaph.
Did you leave the Marine Corps kind of with that mentality? Like, when you're, well, let's go back to 2008 and get back on track a little bit, right? And so you get out, and you said you joined in 2000, so you did 8 years, correct?
Yep, 8 years.
8 years, and then so 2008 comes around, you're getting out of the Marines. Obviously, well, you can get out of the Marines if Marines don't get out of the Marine, but
no.
But
you can take the Marine out of the Corps. But...
Yeah. So you're where were you stationed when you got out, and then you went back home? I'm guessing to Washington.
So yeah. So my reserve unit was in Yakima, and I actually got out on December 1st, 2008, when my unit was ramping up for another deployment, and I wanted to extend, and circumstances just wouldn't let me extend. So it's kind of, you know, sort of not quite completely unexpected, but also like, you know, my command was going to move and try to get it so I could stay, you know, and go on the deployment with them and everything. But it just didn't happen. So I was just like, so that was kind of one of those things that I just had to accept, you know, like, okay, maybe this isn't part of my life anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe this chapter is closed, you know? So I go back home. I was working in telecommunications construction, and I had told my boss, like, hey boss, I'm getting deployed. And he had been a Marine as well. Like, So he's like, hey, dude, you just better make it back in one piece, and your job will be waiting for you. I'm like, cool. So I get home, drank way too much because I was not happy about getting out.
Happens.
Woke up the next day and I was like, you still got a spot for me? He's like, hell yeah, I do, dude. Come on back. And then I got laid off again. And I'm just like, what the hell, dude? Like, I thought you said you had a spot. 2009, that's when I kind of got into coaching baseball. My little brother was starting to play, and my mom was like, hey, they need a coach. Can you do it? I'm like, all right. So that's how I kind of got into just kind of reconnecting with the game, kind of reigniting my passion for baseball, and started down the coaching road. So yeah.
Yeah, dude, that passion, that's kind of something that we find ourselves talking about a lot, especially when it comes to that transition, and like when you find that passion, and like how quickly things can change from like holy shit, there's a lot going on in the world that you weren't ready for. Everything was kind of there for you that you needed. All you had to do was show up and do a job. And then now you're just kind of on your own. And then a lot of people are just out there kind of just floating through space until they find some sort of passion that drives them. And baseball, I mean, baseball's always there,
Yeah.
You just watch stories. I watch stories of because I mean, first and foremost, I'm a Cardinals fan, like we talked about. But baseball itself is just so beautiful of a sport that it's not appreciated enough by people who want, like 100-point games and that kind of shit. It's just like it's like the people at soccer or football. Not American football, but football or soccer. And
right.
It's their same kind of thing. It's like, well, if it's not for you, then it's not for you, and that's okay.
Sure.
But leave the game alone.
I feel like baseball, it's very, very therapeutic for me personally because it forces me to slow my life down and focus on the game.
Dude, there's really two things that are the most therapeutic that I can possibly do if like I'm under stress or whatever. Play catch or hit the batting cages.
Dude, I do the cages often whenever it's
One
like a
of
huge
those
stress
two.
reliever for me. And it always kind of has been. I would just randomly find a spot. We only got one place with a cage, so I'm thinking about getting a pitching machine and like a batting net for me to hit.
Dude, do it.
Backyard.
Do it. Yeah.
We got this
tonight.
We got this little we got this little device that's like, or no, it's not a device, but it's like a little we bought it off Amazon. Like you can tie it to a pole or a fence post, and like the ball's on a string, and like
yeah.
I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you just hit the ball, it goes to the string and it bounces back. Dude, it's like this. That's probably the second best thing you can get to actually like hitting a ball if you're not at a batting cage. That shit's therapeutic as hell.
Absolutely. Yeah, just like, and when I coach a client, I've got, my clients range anywhere from 7 all the way up to 42 years old. Seriously.
Sweet.
Like last year I was throwing BP for like a 55, 60-year-old dude who was playing in a men's league and was like, bro, I need you to throw me like all your off speed stuff and then throw me just a heater because I need to. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, all right. So I'm just, but yeah, that's the age range, man. Like if you want to learn how to play baseball or just sharpen your skills, like I'll be happy to help you out.
Oh, dude, let's talk about that real quick. The Foundations Baseball Development. What made you start? Like, what was the driving force behind starting that company?
Of all things, a Facebook ad.
No shit.
Yeah, because so I'd just been laid off from what I thought was going to be a really lucrative career in the telecommunications industry. I had been doing it for a long time. I'd worked my way up, you know, and then all these companies started mandating vaccines. And I'm like, you know, between the Marine Corps and the National Guard, I was a freaking human test subject for 14 years.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
You know? And this website pops up, lessons.com, and it's on Facebook. Hey, are you a baseball coach? I'm like, I mean, I was. Do you want to make money at it? Yeah, I do. Click here. Okay. All right. What virus is my phone going to get hit with?
Right.
And it turns out it's like a legitimate website, you know? So I go on there and I set up my profile and everything. And I didn't even have the name. I was just under myself, you know? Fill out my profile. Hey, I'm Coach Benjamin. I'd love to help you out with your players' baseball needs. I've loved the game since I was, you know, a baby and this and that. I know I'm familiar, like just kind of standard hire me because I'm good type stuff, right? And a few weeks go by and no activity. And you got to pay the website to respond to leads that come in, right? So you buy credits through their website, and then you can send a message to whatever lead comes in, right? So this lead comes in, or one lead comes in after like 3 weeks of my profile being up there, and I hit it right away, right? And I buy like 20 credits, like $30. Like, okay. And I start chatting with this guy, and he's like, yeah, my son last year he was hitting really well. He was you know, driving the ball all over the place, and this year, man, it's just different. Like, he always seems to pop it up or ground it. I'm just like, okay, all right, well, let's get together. Let's see what we can do. And he's like, all right, great, yeah, let's this time, this day, cool. So I go and meet him, and a 12-year-old kid, name's Edgar, nice kid, like just kind of your typical high energy 12-year-old boy, loves baseball. I'm like, all right, dude, show me your stance. And he pulls out something that looks like Kevin Youkilis
I was wondering.
trying to hold it because he's got to go to the bathroom, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, ceasefire, bro. No.
Put the bat down.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, when you get paid $30 million a year to play this game, you can do whatever you want, but we're just gonna break it down to the basics. And so
here's a video
I just
of
have
Ken Griffey Jr. Watch this.
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
be back in 30 minutes.
Yeah, study this. So I just break down his stance and like kind of explain some basic fundamental principles to him. He's like, yeah, I've heard that before. I'm just like, well, you've probably heard that before because it's true, you know? And then, so we're just like playing soft toss a little bit. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And then we start like actually pitching to him, and he's crushing the ball everywhere. He's got a game the next day, and his dad texts me. He's like, dude, I don't know what you said to him or what you did, but he went 4 for 4. He had a double and a triple. Like, I'm just like, well, yeah. I mean,
Told him to cut the bullshit.
Brilliant in the basics, man. Brilliant in the basics. That's what I'm all about. And so leads keep coming in. I start getting more clients, and I finally I came up with a name for my company, Foundations Baseball Development, because that's where it all starts, you know. And if you look at the greatest players in the game, you go to any major league game and get there for batting practice or whatever, they're all working on those foundational skills, those fundamentals.
Oh, no doubt.
These are the top 1% of players in the entire world, and they never stop focusing on those fundamentals, those foundational skills ever. They never do.
Arenado.
Yep.
Nolan
Yep.
Arenado's like that, dude. 100%. He was
Yeah.
like that with the Rockies. That's why I was super stoked when he got to the Cardinals. I'm like, yes, let's go. Like he's
Yep.
bringing that mentality over.
Yep.
And it's just,
I mean,
it's a workman's mentality. Like you're a superstar,
Yeah.
but you're still a worker, you know?
Yep. I mean, Kobe Bryant had the same mentality, you know?
Kobe Bryant
And-
coined that shit. He was like,
Yeah, exactly.
I saw
What-
again TikTok.
You're the best in the world. Why are you working on basic footwork? I'm working on
'Cause
basic, you know?
Not everybody's
Yeah.
doing it, and you know,
Yeah, exactly.
I saw a video, and it was Carmelo Anthony talking about when they were all playing for the Team USA, and he was like, Kobe had everybody up at like 4:30 in the morning practicing. He's like him, LeBron James, D Wade, like yeah, and then it's like this, and it's paused. Like this was the moment, you know, that those three surpassed Carmelo Anthony as like real, true, hungry warrior champion basketball players, you know, because he was like, I ain't waking up at no fucking 4:30. Like,
right. Well,
like that's on you, but like Kobe is, and that's why he was, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say like I mean, like there's no doubting LeBron's greatness, and I'm not a huge basketball player, but like MJ, Kobe, and then LeBron. I mean, like, young Shaquille would have crushed LeBron. You know, if I don't know,
and that step between Michael and Kobe and LeBron, that's a big freaking step. Too. It's like,
oh yeah,
there's not even like
those two never said they were the best players in the world either. They never claimed to be it while they were playing.
No, they just let their work speak for itself.
Yeah,
and you know it makes me happy to know that philosophy works because I got this one kid, and he plays in the same league that I coach, but I coach a different age group than he's in. Last year, he just kind of showed up at the park randomly while I'm coaching another kid, you know, and I'm like, hey, you want to join us? You know, you want to join us for an hour or whatever? He's like really, really shy, like couldn't really throw. He was deathly afraid of the ball. He was like, you know,
not many personal coaches do that, dude. That's I mean, I commend you for doing that. That's cool as shit.
Dude, game's for everyone, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't care who you are.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not looking to build a select team to go and win next weekend's World Series.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would take the fun out of it.
Yeah. And it's development right there. Yeah. Development. That's what I care about. I care about you getting better. I care about you building your skills. So a couple weeks ago, this kid who
do we lose him?
I don't know. He's still there, but he's not there.
I wonder if his phone died or something.
Maybe.
I can hear you. There we go.
Oh, nice. There he is.
There he is.
He's back.
Just had a freaking incoming call.
Losers.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's a lady who's helping me out with the VA. So.
Like, sorry, I'll call you back in 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yep. So this kid, his team won their championship just a couple weeks ago, and he contributed. He went like 2 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Like, it was just like, dude, where were you this time last year to where you are now? You just won. You're on a championship team. He's like, yep. Like, just keep working. Just keep working. Brilliant in the basics. I know it's like an 11-year-old championship. It's, you know, you don't get a ring, but hey, you were on the best team in the entire league, and you contributed. You know, now he wants to learn how to pitch and all this cool stuff. And I'm just like, right on, dude.
I played on a lot of Bad News Bears types baseball teams when I was younger. I didn't like know anybody whose dad was the coach and like had like the teams. And like, so there was like a pool in the local the local baseball, enforcement
Yeah.
where I grew up. So it was like the throw your kids in a pool, and then if there's enough, they make a team out of them, and that was
Right.
always my team.
Yeah.
We had a fucking fun, but we weren't
Oh
always
yeah.
very good. We had like flashes of brilliance, but for the most part, it was like dudes that weren't really baseball players, and then there's like me
Right.
and like a couple dudes that like really wanted to play, but
Yeah.
it was always more fun
Well,
than anything. And then high school came around, and I was more interested in smoking weed than going to school, and I wasn't really like wasn't interested in being academically available or academically eligible for shit. So
right.
that was pretty much it for me. And that's probably like, if I could say a regret, would be like not continuing to play in any way, shape, or form. It's
Yeah.
definitely something I'm trying to get back into. I've actually tried to sign up to coach even Little League here, but they didn't even call back. Didn't even get a call
Dude.
back on a volunteer position. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Like, I could walk over to the thing, bring my 2-year-old son, and
Right.
he can grow up, watching me do the coaching thing and be learning stuff right there.
Absolutely. No.
But it'll happen.
Yeah. And that's exactly how I started coaching in the league that I'm coaching in now. Was last year I was working part-time as a line cook at a restaurant, right? And and I'm just running that kitchen by myself. It's a small kitchen, little brew pub, so beer,
Been there.
burgers, and that kind of stuff. Nice
Been there.
place, good stuff. But one of my clients texts me and she's like, "Hey, do you know anybody that coached Thomas's team this year? They don't have a head coach and they can't play without one." And I'm just like, "Yeah, let me make some calls and I'll get back to you." I'm like, so go through a little bit of a rush, you know, I'm getting the kitchen closed up and cleaned up and everything. And it's about 20 minutes after the first text. And she texts me again, "Have you found anybody? The deadline's tonight." And I'm like,
Oh shit.
well, I guess I'm doing it then. So, I know this kid. He's a good kid, 14-year-olds. This will be a lot of fun. She's like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." And that's how I started coaching with the league that I'm coaching in now. That's a volunteer thing, but still a ton of fun, and getting to help kids out get better at baseball.
Yeah, that's all I want to do is just get back around the game. And we have such a, like, I live in a super small town, and like I drive past our baseball field every day, and it's just like
Yeah.
they got a nice field, and I could just like I get real ballpark vibes from it. It's like it's a small field, but I mean they got a fence, they got a nice little bleacher section behind it,
Yeah.
nice lights. I mean it's a well kept field, and just every time I walk by it, I'm just like, I get that ballpark atmosphere. And it's something I miss, dude, because like when I'm in Busch Stadium, it feels like I'm in like the most holy place there is in the planet. Just like an absolute church to be at any baseball stadium. Coors Field's one of my other favorites. But yeah, baseball has just always been there for me.
Sorry about that, guys. She called
No,
again.
you're good. No worries.
Like, come
We'll
on.
We'll get done here. We'll get done here in a couple more minutes, so you can.
Yeah,
We
no
definitely want you
worries.
to be able to take care of that, because I know you
Oh, yeah.
mentioned trying to get that figured out. But what I
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying, basically, just like getting that ballpark feeling, that vibe. There's just
Yeah.
something about it, dude. Like the earth is greener, the sky is bluer, the birds are birdier.
Dude, it's like
It's just,
it's like going to church for me, man.
I swear I said
Like,
that.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
it's like it really is. It's such like
And it doesn't matter what, I mean, you guys can tell me how you feel about it, but like it doesn't matter what level of
no,
No, not really.
of
No.
ballpark or team you're watching. Like we went and watched in Greenville, South Carolina. We went and watched the minor league team play. Like it's a big deal in Greenville, just because that's where the ballpark is. We went and watched, and like we sat down, and we like my wife and I sat. It was like a date night. My wife and I sat down, like probably like maybe 15 minutes in, she like looks at me. She's like, "You look at peace." I was like, "This is the best day of my life.
This is awesome.
This
Yep.
is the shit." Like my kids were over there playing in the playground, and I'm sitting like I got a beer in my hand. I'm watching the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm watching the game, and it just like, and she's like, she was just like, I don't think I've ever seen you this relaxed before. I was like, yeah, this is because this is where it's at right here. Like I'm forced to slow down right now. Like my brain is forced to slow down and pay attention to something that I like to watch, and it's good for me.
Yep. Dude, it's therapy.
Yeah,
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like, just I mean, being at the ballpark is just, it's a great experience. I freaking love it. I never want to do anything else ever.
hell yeah,
I want to help kids get better at the game, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's all I want to do.
That's
I
cool
wanna
as
do that
shit, dude.
too.
Yeah. How
I want to be like you when I grow up, dude.
seriously, dude. Seriously, how do for our listeners out there, how do they get a hold of you? Like how does or maybe not not the kids but parents, like how do they get a hold of you if they want
So
your
I've
help?
got I got a website, foundations-baseball.com, powered by Squarespace. I'm not under contract to say that or anything like that, but that just so you kind of know what kind of website it is.
Foundations
It's a work in
baseball?
progress. Yeah, foundations-baseball.com. Also on YouTube, youtube.com/@foundationsbaseball. If you're not up here in the Northwest and you kind of want to just know like my philosophy and stuff like that. I don't show a whole lot of drills or anything on there because there's a lot of other guys who are a lot better at playing the game than me doing that. The YouTube thing is more on the mental aspect of the game and kind of just like confidence, stuff you should be focusing on like what your physical condition should look like how to get out of a slump, that kind of thing. So the videos are getting better. They're not, but I mean, all of this kind of it happens sort of spur of the moment. So slowly building it, and but that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking awesome, man. That's like a really cool kind of thing. Like we like when people have like a personal, like like it's like a very personal thing you're doing, and it's like you said, like it's helping the kids, which is the future. And I mean, the game's always going to be there as long as they don't, make the pitch clock even shorter and the bases even bigger to where there's no infield and whatever.
I think
put 3 players on base if they make the 10th inning because that's too long.
Right.
Move them to third at least. Like
you're repping your guys. I had to rep mine as well. So.
I always like to wear it. I got a selection of different Cardinals hats back here.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, they're the boys, man. That's one thing I can't never rep my team, but I think living here, I definitely will. I live like 3 hours from Minneapolis, 3.5 or so, I guess. I don't know, maybe 4.
Right.
I don't know, but that's the closest major league stadium. Is the Minnesota Twins, whose pitcher is absolutely fucking dealing this year, Sonny Gray.
Yep.
Dealing. Like a 1.94 ERA is just absolutely mowing down everybody.
Yeah, he just passed Bryce Miller because Bryce got lit up the other night by the Yankees.
Another one that's killing it.
God, I hate the Yankees.
The rookie of the year last year, Spencer Strider for the Braves.
Yeah,
he's got more strikeouts at this point in his career than I think like Nolan Ryan and there was like an absurd list of people that he was either close to or better than at this point in their career. Dwight Gooden, I think, was another one because he was another strikeout master. Yeah, I mean, like just imagine, dude. And the guy's got like the dopest mustache like KZ here.
Right.
And he's got legs like the size of my head.
I gotta say, man, the stash game among pitchers this year, it's pretty strong.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty solid.
I'm all
The
for
stash
it,
game is coming back. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna have another just straight up handlebar dude on the mound here pretty soon.
I love
That'll
it.
be all right. You know, that'll be all right.
Stashes and mullets are coming back, dude. The
Yes,
the
indeed.
Randy Johnson curls are fucking back.
Oh yeah.
yeah, my sons both requested, they both requested mullets, and tomorrow's haircut day, so got mullets coming in tomorrow.
Mullet fades.
Mullet fades
Oh
in my house,
man.
only because
Yeah.
of baseball, and
Right.
yeah, and like I feel so bad for my youngest son just because like Nikki, my wife, she's a big Rangers fan, or just baseball in general, just because she enjoys it. You know, she enjoys it as much as I do, just to sit down and slow life down a little bit. But she, it was her idea to name our son with certain letters. So his name is Mason Lane, so his initials are MLB. I was like,
Nice.
I was like, what did you do? Like now, now
That's hardcore, man.
I was like, now he at least has to try baseball now. Like,
Yep.
Whereas the other ones have the option to do it if they want to, but
Yeah.
now he at least has to try it. So
As the prophecy foretold.
yeah, we'll see how that stuff goes. Yeah, dude. Hey, man, Ben, dude, I'm super stoked about your about what you're doing.
I appreciate it, man.
At
Yeah.
Foundations Baseball Development, you've had a hell of a journey, man. I appreciate you, sharing your entry in the Marine Corps. Like, first and foremost, you picked even though you didn't pick it, best job in the world.
Yep.
Being a
Job
tanker.
ever.
Best job ever. man.
Second best job I ever had.
Oh, there you go.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
was the best job I ever had, and then
True.
then
You
I
got
found
me
this
pumped
one.
up, dude. I'm gonna text the lady and then be like, "Hey, I was just curious. I hadn't heard anything back. I saw some kids practicing. If you ever need any help, just let me know."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should,
My
man.
kid's
Do
like
it,
starting
man.
to play now, so I'm teaching him. I mean, he's got a swing on him already. I'm throwing like those light, just like the regular rubber
Yeah.
bouncy balls. They're kind of like this
Yeah.
big, not super heavy. So I'll bounce it to him, and he's like,
Nice.
"Yes, dude, let's go."
That's how I started out, man, with that big red bat and the
Yep.
white plastic ball. You know,
Exactly.
Hell yeah, dude. We had
hitting
my
dingers out of my
neighbors-
grandma's front yard.
Yeah, dude. He was that's what he's doing now. Except for he runs up on me, he'll be like, "Yeah, I think he's gonna be a pitcher, dude, because he's got an absolute cannon."
Nice.
But
Just rig it up to a fishing pole and just have him launch it out of the backyard and just reel it back in.
yeah,
There you go.
I honestly want to get a pitching machine, dude. But I think a good one's gonna run me some monies. The good news is, the high school, I just need to get in there so I can just be like, hey, whenever I see them practicing, I'm like, you guys care if I squeeze in and get a couple swings real quick?
Right. Yeah.
But then I'd be embarrassed when they turn up the heat, and I'm like, Swiffa! Damn it, dude. I'm an old stoner. You need to turn it down to 45.
Right.
I can show
What
you some absolute moon shots from 50 miles an hour down the middle.
Bro, it's at 50. No, it's not.
Roll it to me. Can you bounce it?
We got a softball player in here.
Can I just throw it up myself? Because I'm better at
Right.
I was good at that back in the day. We used to go out and just hit rocks into the lake, dude, with old wooden bat.
Oh
Just
yeah.
Bong, work on
You
that
gotta
swing.
start that's where you got to start, dude, for sure.
That's
Yep.
the love of the game right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
Chewing
is.
up your St. Louis Cardinals game bat, that they gave you for
Oh
the
gosh,
giveaway.
yeah.
You're just like,
Man, I
fuck
miss
it.
bat nights. They don't do
Bat
bat nights anymore.
They don't do
man.
bat night anymore. They do a $1
don't.
hot dog night.
Yeah,
I would not
at
touch
T-Mobile
those hot
Park.
dogs.
Not at T-Mobile Park.
No, they do them in Philly.
Yeah.
Pass.
Our value menu is like a $6 hot dog still. That's
It
okay.
costs $20 for chicken tenders and French fries at Busch Stadium.
Yep.
You can go out. You can go next door and get them for $6 at McDonald's. Same meal.
Uh-huh. Right. Oh man. Oh.
Well, yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah, like you said, dude, we really appreciate you coming on. Definitely want you to be in touch more often, and I'll add you to we have like a small group going that I add all our guests to. So like you got
Sweet.
another small little network. I've
Yeah.
Eddie already shared the post. So Eddie Lowry, he's another podcaster up in your area that would he's a Navy vet. So he's off the deep end with Eddie Lowry if you ever get a chance.
Okay.
He'll
Yeah.
probably reach out to you at some point, or I'll just have you reach out to him and say what's up if you want to do it again and get on another podcast and talk about it.
Oh, no,
Josh
I'm
Wielden
all
here
about putting my
actually.
message out there.
Josh Wielden here actually just messaged who I mentioned earlier about the Pacific Northwest Vets.
Yeah.
That's him right there. So
Right
definitely
on. Cool.
talk to him as well because he's in the area. And
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, he'll help you spread that message for sure because he's doing a lot of stuff in the veteran community up there.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's awesome. Yeah.
just a friendly reminder, everybody, about Ben. You guys can reach out to him at foundations-baseball.com. Yeah, if you guys want his help, I'm definitely gonna read. once my kid gets of age and he's ready, I'll probably be picking your brain. I'm not gonna lie. So
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, go to my YouTube channel. I'm
for
telling
sure.
you, man. Yeah, youtube.com/@foundationsbaseball.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dog shorts on there because, I mean, that's what I film. I film baseball content and my dogs. So, but yeah, yeah, guys, I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, honestly. I met a couple more tankers.
Real
yeah,
quick,
that's what's up. I do. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Ben, where are you at? And where exactly? Oh, you said Seattle.
Yeah, Pacific Northwest, Seattle area. Right now, I'm up in Everett, Snohomish County.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, Josh is in. How do you even say that?
Puyallup.
That's where he's at.
Puyallup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good guy. I still got to pick his brain just because with that whole what did I talk about yesterday?
PGA Hope.
Yeah, PGA. I'll put my name in the raffle.
Operation Brisket Butt or whatever it was. Operation Smoker Freedom. Operation Heavy Smoke. I forgot what it was. It was doing the Warrior Project though.
Yeah,
Operation Smokestack.
we still gotta get Josh. No, but he's a good guy, dude. Like, I mean, we've only met him digitally, but
right.
Yeah, he did. He's a good guy to reach out to.
I'm gonna send him an calendar link after the show.
Helps out vets a lot, and he's in charge. He's a good dude. Good dude.
Right on, man.
Good dude to have in your corner, especially as a veteran. So,
Hell yeah.
again, Ben, thanks for coming out, or thanks for coming on, and sharing your story with us.
Yeah, dude.
Truly appreciate it. It was a nice surprise to find out you're a tanker.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. And thanks for talking about the love of the game, dude. That's something Kyle and I both really fucking appreciate.
Oh man. Hey, that's why I started my YouTube channel. I was talking to this dude at church. He's like, "What do you do?" "I'm a private baseball coach." "What made you get into that?" And I just started going off about how much I love it. And he was like,
"Yeah,
hey, you need to start a YouTube channel because if you could see your face the way you talk about baseball, like, people respond to that, man."
Yeah, dude, that's kind of the not the aim, but that's kind of the way this podcast is kind of working for us. It's like we talk about it to people and they're just like, "Oh no shit, you're drilling," and I mean, we're really excited about this thing, man. Like getting to talk to, I mean, other someone we never would have had a chance to talk to, other than the fact that we started this thing, and now we got a new tanker friend who's all about baseball and dogs.
Yeah,
and I mean,
dude.
fuck, dude,
Yep.
I can't.
Yep.
What else? What else you got?
Absolutely, dude. You know what I mean? No, I'll for sure be in touch, guys. This is so much fun, man.
Yeah, dude, we'll definitely have you on again, dude, for sure.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Yeah, y'all let me know, and yeah, we'll make it happen. Talk about some more tank stuff, more baseball stuff.
Hell yeah.
All the good stuff.
For all our listeners out there, if you guys want to be on, you can always email us veteranChatProject@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Kyle because that's where all the fucking cool kids are now on TikTok. But yeah, you can reach out to us on all those platforms. We'd love to have you guys on and share your stories, just like Ben did here. Share your stories, what you're going through, what you're about. That's the whole purpose of this project, is to show other veterans in the community that we're, in a sense, we're all the same. We are the end destination might be a little bit different, but we all go through somewhat kind of the same hurdles. So I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of your success. I hope it keeps going up, dude.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, and yeah, you guys as well. Keep
All
doing this. Keep doing this thing, man.
Hell
Love
yeah.
it.
Yeah. All right. Later, everybody. Thank you guys for listening. We will be back at you next week.